Hey everybody, my name is Judy Fowler. I am a PT Associate Professor in the Department of Kinesiology, and I'm also the Program Director for our Physical Education, Health Teacher Education program. I have been asked to share some things that I've been working on and doing to help facilitate student learning in my classes. And the story I want to share was about recently I had a class where my students really took on every form of the faces that you see on this first slide, and it was a clue to me that my students were they were trying their best to hang on. They were really engaged, but there was something that I may have said or have done, or maybe I tried to make a connection too quickly that they weren't ready for. But I definitely had a moment of recognizing that the stress that they were experiencing. So I decided to take on a little bit of what I was reminded of through our ACUE courses, and decided to go back to implementing some concept maps. So the next day when I had this particular course, I decided to go ahead and share my thoughts of what I was hoping to make the connections for. I've started with teaching for the big ideas you can see in the middle, and trying to bring up some big ideas, but really starting to get my students to understand ideas between factual knowledge and conceptual knowledge, and what we can do to help create situations for students to experience that. I definitely could tell I was not doing a really great job of doing the conceptual piece, and sometimes it's hard to break students out of just memorizing facts. So decided to start this concept map, and then I prompted my students with a few questions, and I gave the pen to them and allowed them to come up to the board, and they had a chance to write some different ideas. And through our discussion, through them sharing and taking over the experience, was able to hear their perspective and ask some clarifying questions, which prompted for this concept map to grow. I really wanted to share this with you as a point of sometimes when we can slow down and not worry as much, and this is really the big reminder for me, when we can turn the empowerment over, so to speak, and allow students to have a chance to express what they're getting out of the experience. It really opened my eyes to a lot of different things, and to think about how I'm communicating or what makes sense for me, having to remember to teach my course for the students that are sitting with me in that moment for their understanding. So with this, I wanted just to share a couple of other examples of some different concept mapping. I teach a different course, and this course I had to put in concept maps to help remember to center the idea of who are we focused on, even though they're taking my particular course, but it's the preschool students who are, we hope that they're happy and healthy. But I took this opportunity to review, and this is for an asynchronous course, but review what we covered in the early sections. It's hard to believe we're almost midway through this course, but also to give them an opportunity to see, just because we have this information, when they have to start planning activities for their children, there's sometimes tension. So it's been really healthy for me to slow down. I think I get so quick to speed up my process. So I think with concept mapping, it's really allowing me to slow down and making sure that I am making the right connections and not just speeding through my course calendar. This was a different type of graphic organizer, so I kind of branched it to also graphic organizers. This is actually what I covered in a class, but I wanted the students to have a resource where they can go back and think about their development of movement experiences, and this is for an initial teacher licensure course that they are starting to learn a lot of different things, and it gets very overwhelming. So I think having this reflective piece, and again, making videos to even explain your concept map or graphic organizer and the goals that you have for your students, I think your students will really appreciate understanding. It's not just completing the next assignment, but it's really starting to understand student learning, and they understand their learning actually. And this was another example that I have. I just wanted to share, and it was just I'm conducting a professional learning experience with classroom teachers, and I have these different topics that I'm covering, but I thought this was a great way to allow everyone to have a review and to remember what we are what we've been building upon and where we're going to definitely go in the future. So I hope my video can help you think about ways of integrating concept maps or graphic organizers to reinforce your learning. Students are very engaged when they're with us, but sometimes when they have to go to the next class or just continue with their busy lives, when they have to come back and do our homework or whatever assignments we have for them, they oftentimes are tired or stressed, or they didn't take notes that really helped them complete the assignment. So I have found that this little addition to, it doesn't happen every week, but this little addition to the way that I've been instructing and reflecting and demonstrating connections that I know that will be important for students, I feel that the students are producing much better work and they feel more confident in their learning experiences. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you can use concept mapping and graphic organizers in your instruction. Thank you.